For a little Star Trek. That's what I think. How many of you have seen our series? Have seen Star Trek Continues? Some naughty girls. Haven't seen it. This is my childhood passion project. Like when I was a little boy, I just lived for Star Trek. It was unnatural. I mean, like, I was obsessed. And drove my mom crazy and rounded up kids in the neighborhood to play Star Trek with me and made my own uniforms and went to conventions cosplaying before they called it cosplaying. And now, all these years later, I've started this web series that picks up where the original series left off. You may or may not know this, but back when the original series of Star Trek was on television, it was in its third TV season when it was canceled. It was just stopped. So it never really ended. It just stopped. And then the next time you saw those characters was Star Trek The Motion Picture, which came out 10 years after they canceled the original series. And by then, Captain Kirk had become an admiral in Starfleet. He wasn't the captain of the ship anymore. Spock had gone back to Vulcan. Dr. McCoy had quit altogether, went off somewhere and grew a beard. And so I always thought, wouldn't it be cool to finish the 5-year mission of the Enterprise and fill that gap between the cancellation of the original series and the motion picture. So that's what we've done. We have just finished filming our final episodes. And when we're done, we will have 11 episodes, like one more TV season, and we will leave all of the characters where the motion picture picked them up. It's going to be really special, something very, very special. But in the meantime, we've made all of these awesome episodes, and I decided I'm going to show you one tonight that a lot of people, it's kind of their favorite. Aubrey, who's my handler this weekend, was telling me how much she loves it. So this is our 6th episode, and if you like it, or when you like it, I should say, go home and check out the others if you haven't seen them. They're all wonderful, and they feel and look and sound exactly like classic Star Trek. So let's see. Who's turning our lights off for us? Did Aubrey leave? Oh, you're gonna do it? Okay, well, let's get right to it. How's that? And we'll start this. I've got to start it, actually, now that I think about it. I'm so proud of what we've done. Who's got any questions? Anybody have any questions about what you just saw? Yes? I love that you asked that question, because I am a big music guy. I've always felt like music is probably, one of the main ingredients, if not the biggest ingredient for creating the emotion of the moment, pulling out, those emotions. A lot of the music is from the original series. There's an amazing collection of original tracks that were used in the original series. But there were also, in the early episodes, there were a lot of pieces of music that I created when there was a moment, an emotional moment, that I couldn't find something that was quite right from any of the original tracks. So I created some of them. But then, in our 4th episode, I was contacted out of the blue by a guy who lives in New York City. Turns out he's a composer, producer. He teaches at Juilliard in New York, and he's a huge Star Trek fan, loves what we're doing. And he asked if he could score some original music for our series. Well, I was ecstatic at the possibility, but at the same time, not just anybody can write music like this. Even the TV shows of today don't have music like this. They're not thematic. They're not orchestral like this. And so he created an example, basically. He did a little demo piece to show me what he was capable of, and it was wonderful. And so I asked him if he would do it, and he and I started coordinating, and he literally rounded up a student orchestra, a full live orchestra, and he scored a bunch of pieces of music that orchestra recorded for episode 4 and 5 and 6, and let's see, I don't know that he did anything for 7 or 8, because I wanted to give him a little bit of a break, because it's not easy. And you don't want to burn people out, especially, this is a labor of love, you guys. Nobody's making a penny off of this. So when you start talking about the amount of time that it takes to write music and organize an orchestra and produce all that, or to shoot all of this and to edit it and put it all together, it takes a lot of time. So you don't want to presume on somebody's goodwill. So I'm saving him up, and he's going to be writing original music for our final episodes, our finale episodes. But his name is Andy Farber. And when you go home and watch the other episodes that you have not yet seen, be looking for his name. He did something in 4 or 5, this, and wonderful work. Question? Anybody? Yes?
When did you start the Star Trek series?
I started this series actually 5 years ago, which means that when we finished just a few weeks ago, we had a 5-year mission. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, how ironic, isn't it? But the original Enterprise, remember Captain Kirk used to say at the beginning of the series, right? These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. It's 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds, right? They never got their 5-year mission. But we've completed it, and our mission turned out to be a 5-year mission. We started this in 2012. Anyone else? Yes. Anywhere we could find them, dude. Like the waiter at Applebee's. I mean, you got some friends that live here? I mean, wherever we could find them. On the days that we had, on the days that we knew we were shooting in the corridor, in the hallway, we would round up, 7 or 8 people and put them in uniforms and say, okay, you guys start down there and walk this way. You two start here, walk this way. You climb down that ladder and walk that way. And, and have extras. Yeah, could be anywhere. Could be anybody from anywhere. We have several people that live down where our studio is, and they have friends and daughters and neighbors and fellow employees, and so we took them wherever we could get them. The only caveat was you got to be in shape. If you're going to put on a Starfleet uniform, you got to look like you belong in a Starfleet uniform, right? And then secondly, you have to be clean shaven. You had to, short hair, no beard, no long hair, looking like they would have looked in the 60s. And even our women, all the hairstyles are meant to be reminiscent of that period. How are we doing on time? Right on time. Question, anybody? Yes.
I was just wondering, how did it feel when you first took up the role of Captain Kirk?
I gotta tell you. Is there anything in your life that you imagine doing, but you'll never get the chance to do it? You know what I mean? It would be like, I would love to dive down to see the Titanic ruins. Right? Wouldn't that be amazing? But what it would take to do that, it's completely beyond the realm of possibility. You know what I mean? I would really love to fly a stealth bomber. You know what I mean? Something that is so outside the realm of possibility that you imagine doing something. What would it be like? But you'll never get the chance, right? When I was a little boy, I thought, I loved Kirk. I loved that character. And my dad was not around, so he was very much of a father figure, kind of a role model. And the idea that I would ever get to play the character wouldn't even enter my mind. When I started this production, and I got excited about it at first, and then I got scared. Just think about it. Big shoes to fill. You know what I mean? Like when you suddenly have to do the thing that you've dreamed of doing, suddenly there's this great deal of, you know what I mean, of anxiety. Like, what if I suck? What if, you know what I mean? What if I do a horrible job? What if people think it's bad? You know what I mean? It was daunting. It was daunting. And I remember standing in the turbo lift on the bridge, waiting to walk out, waiting for the guy outside to go, okay, roll camera, roll sound, and action. And the doors were going to open, and I was going to walk on as Captain Kirk for the first time. I was like, oh man, you know, you never imagined that you'd have to actually do it. But now that I've done it 11 episodes, it's been such a thrill. It's been such an honor. And when you consider the fact that William Shatner was 36, 34, 35, 36 when he shot the series, and I am 20 years older than him. Well, God bless you. Thank you, Lord. But I mean, I'm literally, you know, here I am playing this guy who's supposed to be 35, 36, and I'm 54. It's not lies, it's truth. It's a sad truth. But anyway, so I mean, there was that too. It's like you want it to be perfect. You want to give it the best you can give it. You know what I mean? And when we watch these episodes now, I'm so proud of what we've done. And I can't wait for you to see the rest of the episodes, you guys. Our next episode, oh, by the way, 7 is online, and 8 is going to be premiering at Dallas Comic-Con on Saturday, April 1st, and then it will be online for everybody to see, and it's awesome. I'm sorry. But then it'll be online. They're all free to watch. We don't own Star Trek, so you're not allowed to charge money and pocket money for somebody else's property. But that's not why I created it in the first place. I made it because I loved this show, and it inspired me in much the same way that Full Metal Alchemist has inspired people, or Dragon Ball Z may have inspired you in some way, or who knows, fill in the blank, right? All of us have something that kind of sparked our creativity and our imagination when we were younger, or maybe recently. And for me, it was Star Trek. So I like to tell people, this is my love letter to Star Trek. My way of saying thank you for how much it meant to me when I was young. You guys, I'm heading to an autograph session. So come and say hello.